Hey YouTube, hi. Welcome to my big abortion debate video. Here we go. Why can't liberals accept that people have different opinions sometimes? What do you mean? Liberals are always silencing or censoring or canceling people just because they have a different opinion. It's like you value diversity so much, just not diversity of thoughts or ideas. Interesting. I actually think that people on the left are better at advocating for laws that hold space for differing beliefs than people on the right are. Oh, yeah, right. Well, let's take marriage and abortion, two hotly contested issues that I'm sure you and I disagree on, right? Yeah, probably. And we could do the rounds and go through all of the arguments that you and I have probably each had 100 times in our lives, but at the end of the day, this issue comes down to the fact that you and I have a fundamental ideological difference. Your opinions on these issues are informed by deeply held religious convictions that I simply do not share. And I am probably not going to be able to argue well enough to convince you to abandon those religious beliefs, just like you are probably not going to be able to argue well enough to convince me to adopt them. Would you agree? Yeah. Sure. Now, there's only one way that the law can be written where both of us can still live our lives according to our differing beliefs, and that's if gay marriage and abortion are both legal. Nah, hold on. That means that only your side gets to have it your way. Come on. So let me ask you a question. If gay marriage and abortion are legal, is your ability to live your life freely and legally according to your values impeded in any way? Well, it would mean I would have to live in a world where I would have to know that a bunch of people are doing things that I really don't like and that I think are really bad, and I don't like that. Well, unfortunately, whether or not those things are legal, you are going to have to live in a world where other people are doing things that go against your personal religious beliefs all the time. But that's not the question I asked you. I asked if those things are legal, is your ability to live your life according to your values impeded in any way? No. Right, and if those things are made illegal, then that means a whole lot of people are going to be forced to live their lives according to your unpopular beliefs, and they are going to be unable to freely and legally live their lives according to their own values. Does that make sense? Hey, would you want to live in a world where organ donation is handled like jury duty? Stay with me on this. So you're sitting around, you're minding your own business, and you get a letter from the government that says, hey, it's organ donation time, and you're up. Some guy in your district needs a kidney, and we're taking one of yours. And if you say no, he's gonna die, and we're gonna charge you with his murder. Does that seem like the kind of society you would like to live in? If you said no, you probably value bodily autonomy. The idea that no person or government agency can force you to do something with your body that you do not want to do, even if it means that somebody else might die. Now, some people might say, hey, that's unethical or even immoral of you to not freely offer up your body when someone else might die if you don't. And hey, we can't stop people from thinking what they think, so those people can go ahead and sign up for the donate my organs at any time against my will list, and we won't stop them because they also have bodily autonomy. But as long as the majority of us believe that bodily autonomy is a basic fundamental human right that we all want to defend and protect, it should probably remain the law of the land that the government cannot force us to donate our organs. This video is about abortion, obviously. Yeah, I probably should have seen that coming. I made a video about bodily autonomy and why it's important, and the anti-vax crowd ran to the comments to be like, oh, so you do think that we should have the right to refuse vaccines, as though they had some grand gotcha moment on their hands, and now I have to address why these two situations are different, apparently. So I have never advocated for it to be illegal for you to refuse a vaccine. I've never advocated that the Supreme Court should come out with some kind of ruling that makes it illegal for you to refuse a vaccination or to refuse to wear a mask. In fact, I don't know of anybody who ever was advocating for that. I remember seeing a lot of overdramatic people wearing armbands and pretending like they were getting dragged away to camps because they weren't allowed in a movie theater, but I don't think it was ever a thing that was actually in danger of happening. There is a massive ocean of difference between the Supreme Court making abortion functionally illegal in many parts in the United States, making it a crime if you seek out that medical procedure, making it something that you can be put in jail over, and a private business having a common sense health and safety protocol during a global pandemic. Those are just two very different things. If a private business wants to say, hey, there's this highly contagious disease spreading around that's killing millions of people, and we want to protect our patrons and employees, so we're only allowing people into our business who have been vaccinated or who are wearing a mask, that's their prerogative, and I think that makes sense. But you still have the legal right to not be vaccinated or to not wear a mask. You still have your bodily autonomy. But look, let's be real here. Let's talk about how the Venn diagram between people who are pro-life and people who are anti-vax has a very large overlapping middle section. And in both cases, we see people who are putting more stock into flimsy, unfounded conspiracy theories than they are into what the global majority of medical professionals are saying. The global majority of medical professionals said that the vaccine was safe and effective. The data is in. That has shown to be true. The overwhelming majority of people who have continued to die or be hospitalized by COVID-19 since the vaccine rollout are unvaccinated people. This is pretty established by now. And right now in the United States with abortion, the overwhelming majority of medical professionals are saying that this decision from the Supreme Court is bad and dangerous. But pro-lifers are celebrating because they put more stock into unfounded conspiracy theories about Planned Parenthood carrying out tens of millions of post-birth abortions every year. And they care more about furthering a theocratic, authoritarian, white Christian nationalist agenda. So to sum up, I absolutely believe that you should have the bodily autonomy to refuse a vaccine or a mask. I also believe that if you choose to do that during a global pandemic, businesses should be allowed to say, you can't come in here and get our customers sick. Hope that all makes sense. If a radical Christian conservative walks up to you holding something that looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, but they promise it's not a duck, it's a duck. Jordan Peterson rose to prominence several years ago when he famously refused to call his students by their preferred pronouns. At the time, Peterson swore that the stance he was taking had nothing to do with transphobia and everything to do with fighting against the intellectual tyranny of compelled speech. Fast forward to now, where Jordan Peterson has become increasingly unpopular on the internet, resulting in many frustrated tweets where his mask is seemingly beginning to slip. It's gotten so bad that he's even closed the comment sections on all of his tweets. It's almost like Jordan Peterson thinks that words have the ability to hurt people. It's like, what are you, some kind of wimpy, sad, Canadian, beta soy boy? What, are you afraid of some words, Jordan? I thought you were about free speech, the exchange of ideas. Come on, it's just words. You little wimpy, high-voiced, skinny, weak, beta lobster boy. One bad tweet that he tweeted was particularly revealing. I'm not going to share that tweet here because I don't want to, but suffice it to say, he dead-named actor Elliot Page and then went on to spew some very openly transphobic rhetoric, confirming to many people something that they already thought, which is that Jordan Peterson's stance against using his students' preferred pronouns never was about compelled speech, and it was always about the fact that Jordan Peterson does not see trans and non-binary identities as valid, and he's just pretty uncomfortable with these people existing in general. Some people might even go as far as to say that he's a bigot. I mean, I wouldn't, but some people might. Okay, I would. For some reason, people like Jordan Peterson have a very hard time being intellectually honest about the reasons for their positions. I don't know if it's because on some level they feel shame about their reasoning, or if it's because their reasoning is based on such deeply ingrained indoctrination that they're not even really aware of what's happening. Either way, this is exactly what's happening with abortion right now. It never was about states' rights or protecting the sanctity of life. It has always been about controlling the bodily autonomy of women to reinforce the patriarchal power structure, and about systematically changing America from an ideologically pluralistic society into a radical Christian theocracy. Don't be fooled by the smokescreens and the disingenuous linguistic wordplay. Remember, well, life begins at conception, and you gotta protect life. Yeah, but you don't care about life, right? I mean, come on. Once a baby's born, you don't care about protecting its life or the quality thereof. I mean, a bunch of kids just died recently at school from gun violence, and you rush to defend not the kids, but the guns. Yeah, I love guns. Sort of hurts your credibility when you say that you're pro-life, Pregnancy, right? Is avoidable. You can just use contraception. Yeah, well, first of all, many of the states that are trying to ban abortion right now are also trying to get rid of contraception, so I guess there goes that one, right? Also, and I can't believe I'm about to explain this to an adult, but many people get pregnant while using contraception. I mean, how do you somehow not know that? If you consent to having sex, then you consent to everything that comes with that, okay? And that includes a baby. Okay, I have a very hard time believing. In fact, I don't believe that you are somehow not aware that not all pregnancy is the result of consensual sex. And I'm kind of really mad that you're making me say that. It feels like what's happening right now is you're just saying a bunch of slogans, and I'm, for some reason, taking the time to respond to each of those slogans, but you're not really hearing anything that I'm saying. I mean, right now, you're not even looking at me. You're just, yeah, hello, hi. Did you hear anything that I just said? So let me get this straight. My body, my choice, right? I guess that means that you're against vaccine mandates? Yeah, so this is exactly what I'm talking about, right? You just sort of moved on to another completely unrelated topic, but okay, sure, let's do it. Bodily autonomy, right? That's what you're talking about. Well, I agree that it should not be illegal for you to refuse a vaccine. I may think that refusing a vaccine during a global pandemic makes you a selfish, uneducated prick, but I don't think it should be illegal for you to do that. So we agree, right? People should get to choose what they do with their own body medically, right? Oh, no, my body, my choice for vaccines, but not for pregnancy. Okay, then why'd you even bring that up? Like, just to illustrate that you're a hypocrite? Just a little shoulder shrug? That's what you got? Just shrugging the shoulders? Is anything that I'm saying getting through to you? Have any of the words that I've just said gotten through your skull? Are you like, are you here right now? America sucks because of people like you.